Hi, my name's Lizzie, and I'm a reader who's in a reading slump. Everyone say hi, Lizzie. Because I am a reader who's in a reading slump and trying to get out of it, I wanted to do a challenge, but the book challenges that I do are like 24-hour readathon, 7 books in 7 days, which are quite time-consuming, a little bit intense. I wanted to do something longer to not discourage me from reading, and I saw people doing the monthly challenge, which is reading a book that starts with the same letter as the month you are reading it in. Does that make sense? I want to read through the alphabet, however, so every single week is going to be the next letter in alphabetical order. This week was A. I figure if I don't feel like reading, I can just do a comic book or something. But this week I couldn't decide between 3 books. So I'm going to be reviewing them because I have a 3-star, a 4-star, and a 5-star, and I want to do like a little Pokemon reveal with them for which is which. But I think I discovered my favorite book of the year. It is early in the year. I don't know if anything's going to top it though. I'm going to start with the book that I wanted to read initially, which is All Systems Red from the Murderbot Diaries. It's the first one. It's a short story. They're making a show, I think, so I really wanted to read it because my friend messaged me that it is a Murderbot gone rogue who has murdered people before, but is gone rogue and now just kind of wants to watch TV and make friends, maybe, starts to care about people, and I really wanted to be on that journey with Murderbot. Because it's a short story, I don't even know if I want to get, that's kind of the premise, because if I give you any more, it's sort of a spoiler. It was my 4-star read. It was really great. It made me want to buy the rest of the series. I'll give you my version of the synopsis, even though someone got paid money to write it properly. So from what I remember, there's something called The Company.
Must I break it down for you? Yes. Break it down. It would be criminal if you didn't.
It's really vague, but it helps send teams out on exploratory missions for whatever their mission is. It's very different. You're following a group of scientists specifically with Murderbot. The company assigned Murderbot to this group to kind of just assist them, protect them, is the gist, I'm pretty sure. Safety isn't really a concern here. It's more about money and getting the teams out there. A lot of things go wrong. There's a mystery. There's a team that, well, that's the whole book. So read that. When you get to that point, you're in the middle of the plot already. I think what this book reminds me of the most is being a teenager at a family get-together and wanting to just watch TV with your cousins and not paying attention to what you were asked to do. Like maybe your job was to set the table. That's a Murderbot. Every single thing... Every single thing is, whenever Murderbot has a job, because, you know, that is their security detail. It's like, they'll be fine. They've got this. They're smart. And as the younger sibling, I really relate to that. Oh, see, okay, to sum up Murderbot's personality a little bit, I saved a quote. I thought it was likely that the only supplies we would need was the post-mortem kit, but you may have noticed that when I do manage to care, I'm a pessimist. Love it. Love it. I think you should check it out. The only reason I didn't rate it 5 stars is it's just a very short introduction, but you fall in love with this almost angsty feeling robot that shouldn't have feelings as just their security detail. Murderbot, very relatable, just there for the vibes. Also an employee, mostly there for the vibes. Really love it. Can't wait to continue the series. Moving on to which way do we want to go? Top or bottom? I think we should go lower. I think we should do the most disappointing book, which is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. Listen, I will preface all of this with the disclaimer that I was given, which is trust the process. This is a slow burn. It's the typical fantasy, set the scene, world building introduction in the first book, which is fine. But I've also gotten to the point, I think fantasy's gotten to the point where we don't need to spend an entire first book doing that. This book is a little bit older. It's okay. I've heard great things about the trilogy. All of the fans that I've met of this series, our taste in books overlap. So I'm going to trust it. But I will say when someone tells you, just get to book 5, why? Why? So for this, what can I say about it?
Be nice.
I'm finding it.
You know when you read a book and you don't remember what you just read? That's how I feel about this one. And so I'm going to try to set the scene with no recollection of what I read. It opens with 6-year-old boy. Boy doesn't have a name yet because boy is an illegitimate child in line for the throne who's basically passed off to the stableman to be taken care of. So he's like growing up living with animals. He acquires the name Fitz at some point, so Fitz. Fitz learns that he possesses a power known to the royalty, and the power is called something that sounds like a cocktail bar name. It was a cool name. It's something like the wit. I think it's the wit, which is connecting with animals telepathically or just seeing through them. If it's used too much, a man's brain deteriorates. He becomes one with the animals he's connecting with, turns against mankind. Gets really close to a dog. Listen, when there's a dog in a book, I know where the author's going with it, and I know that dog's going to be at risk. From there, Fitz is trained to be an assassin. I'm so the wrong person to make you interested in this book. With tasks given to him by the king, I took notes. I think the king dies, maybe. He encounters hostages that have been reduced to an animal-like state, has no memory of what went on. There's the rest of the book. Did I pitch it well enough for you that you're interested? Maybe don't listen to me. I will be continuing the next book, I swear. And I'll probably have to reread the first one to remember what happened. The rest of it, plotting, court drama, political intrigue, other bonds with animals. Yeah, overall, I got through it. The writing was fine. This just isn't a fair review because I want to continue and I don't feel like I have anything nice to say. We're going to be patient with it. It was just setting a scene. So that's why it's 3 stars, because I feel no attachment to anything about it yet. Focus, lock in, lock in. Okay, the next book, however, just dives right in. Other people told me that this was also slower to get into. I loved it immediately. I love a good high seas adventure. The Adventures of Amina Alsarafi. This book is incredible. It's like the chosen family, sort of found family, but they all retired. They're all ex-criminals, ex-pirates because of some catastrophic event, sort of forcing them into retirement because one of their crewmates died under very serious circumstances. You'll learn about that. And they all went their separate ways. Okay, the book opens up following Amina, who was the ship's, and I cannot pronounce this correctly, I'm so sorry, Nahuda. And she retired, had a daughter, raised the daughter at home with her mom, where her past catches up to her. That crewmate that they lost, who died under circumstances you still don't know, his mom shows up and essentially blackmails Amina into picking up where she left off as a ship's captain to rescue her ex-crewmate's daughter who has been kidnapped. From there, Amina goes to find sources and more information, slowly starts acquiring members of her ex-crew because they've all been involved, and she wants to know why this like wizard, evil looming wizard who kidnapped a girl has all of this information about her crew and her. He's into the occult, and so the idea is that because she was the most notorious female Nahuda, that he's interested in her and wants her help. They go on an adventure. They run into one of my favorite characters. You also learn what's interesting about Amina's daughter and her father and Amina's love life. She's such a badass. Something I really love about this story is that it's showing moms, like it's showing older. I think there's something about this story that's extremely healing reading it as a woman, because it's showing that you can be older, you can be a mother, whatever your circumstances are, all of the adventures you've had before, there's still limitless opportunities and adventures that you can have after, while still being a good mother, while doing it however you need to do it and it works for you. I loved reading about that. And she's such a well-developed character, as are the rest of her crewmates. I loved everyone, the magical elements that are tied into it. You're learning a lot about the geopolitical conflicts in this story. You're going off into like magical worlds with it and the artifacts, because it's also a pirate story, so you get mythical artifacts and stories and lore. I listened to the audiobook. I went back and forth listening to the book and audiobook. The audiobook's kind of meta because you're reading it as someone is interviewing Amina and documenting her adventures and her lore throughout the story. You're getting tidbits of her past that mix in with the future. It's so freaking good. The writing's phenomenal. The character's phenomenal. The setting, the plot, everything. This is why it became 5 stars. When I finished it, I rated it 4 stars because just for the first book in a series, I'm pretty sure the only book I've rated 5 stars that starts a series was The Fellowship of the Ring. Everything else is like, it's hard. It's an introduction. You're not getting to the plot yet. This one was 5 stars. The more I thought about it and the more I realized how obsessed with the book I was like, no, this is definitely a 5-star read. If you're not looking to start a fantasy series though, I would still recommend this book because there's a lot of closure. Like there's one open-ended adventure so you can continue the series. I will definitely be doing that because I don't want to say bye to these characters yet. But if you just want a standalone, this book is still a really good choice for that. What this book really reminds me of is when a family just drops the most random lore on you. You know, and you didn't picture your parent or whoever it is doing that. That's what this book feels like. Like, oh, this character's mom just happens to be the most notorious female pirate ever known. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Being on a ship again, I put on an ambiance video, so I felt like I was on a ship with them. It's giving one last wild ride, you know, like a bad moms kind of situation of one last adventure, except is it? Do moms only have one last adventure in them? I don't know. I did also really love The City of Brass by Shannon Chakraborty. I recommend that book a lot. I didn't continue the series because I got distracted by Black Sun. That series also became one of my favorite series, so I need to get back to this one because the world building was phenomenal, which is why I knew going into this book I already trust the author, except this book is so much better in my opinion because it's more character driven. Those are the books that I feel more pulled to read. I think I might do another video of other pirate books because this is sending me back. So I'm just like spiraling into a black hole of how much I love high seas adventures. So those were all the A books that I read. I'm moving on to B. I already started Babel. I have a lot of mixed feelings about that book, but absolutely love the concept, the premise, everything what the author's doing. I'm excited to see where this book goes because I think it's about to be a complete 180 from where I am in the book right now. I think I also want to read the second book to Legends and Lattes, which I'm pretty sure is a prequel, which is like Bookshops and Bone Dust. I might also read Beach Read, but I'm going to be honest, if I can even get through Babel in a week, that will be a miracle. Thank you so much for watching. If you love books, this is the place to be. Please come join me because I think there's something easier getting out of a reading slump when you're doing it with other people. There's like a body doubling effect, companionship element in that. So I hope you're not in a reading slump, but if you are, these challenges are pretty fun. You can Google different reading challenges and see what fits you and what fits your timeline, your schedule, audiobooks, short stories, whatever you want to do. Thank you for watching. I will be back with most likely Babel.